Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new season of PSGL, the third season that I'm taking part in on my channel and in general. This season, we have been put into the highest assist tier on PlayStation, which is PlayStation F8. So we're in the 8th tier of PSGL on the PlayStation side, and I would have went on to the no assists because I feel like I need to make that push, and I was going to tell myself I was going to do that for this season, which I think would have put me in F6 or F7, just based on that's where my championship rival Patrick from last season got placed. But I didn't end up going for it because I am in a very nice title fight in another league that I race, UFRL. I've made a few videos on them in the past, but it's just not, I don't have the time to make videos on both PSGL and UFRL. But I felt I really wanted to finish off that season, which, if I did want to race in the no assist tiers of PSGL, I would have had to give that up because they're both on Mondays. But anyway, we are in the highest assist tier, with some familiar names from last season, but a lot of new names that I haven't raced with before. So it should be interesting to see what happened there. We are in the Red Bull this year, and as we're coming to the end of our final qualifying run, we're a 10th and a half up, and our banker did end up putting us in P12. About 2/10 up as we run up to the line, trying to get some slipstream. Will we get any high positions? And it's only P9, which is, it's not ideal, but there's everyone ahead of us is a new racer that's raced in these higher tiers before. So we are the best of my previous season's drivers. Yeah, P9, Joe Royal on pole. We are only 4/10 off pole, so it is a very close grid. But we're in the Red Bull for this season, and I'm going to hope to finish 5th or 6th in the championship. Just a goal for me. Can't quite remember what I was saying before I ended up cutting to the qualifying lap. But onto the race now. We're going to be going for a safe medium-hard strategy on a track that I don't like in a car that I regret choosing. But as we get onto 5 red lights, we're about to start the first round of PSGL, and it's lights out and away we go. We get a decent start compared to Vilzu. We go to the outside into turn 1. Zapapazzo breaks earlier, which boxes in his teammate, and we get up into P8 off the start. Xanatos is spun into the wall by his teammate in the Aston. We brake really early going into this corner, which allows Prime behind us, I'm just going to call him Prime, to get a move on. These two are going incredibly slow through these corners, holding us up massively as we're looking to make progress, as we are on the faster compound than the likes of the people ahead of us, who I think have all went for the hards. We're going to use our battery now, trying to pick up slipstream, trying to move to the outside, as there is a yellow flag in sector 1 for Aston. Zapapazzo is going to have to go for a move on Scorenzi here. We're forcing them to move by using a lot of our ERS. He backs out of it. We put up the inside dangerously. We almost go into the side of him, which could have ended our race right there on lap 1. Still going to try and keep up the pressure though, as we still do have the tyre advantage. Move to the inside, hit a bump in the road, run into the back of Zapapazzo.
Forgot about the pothole, man.
And I did forget about the pothole that happens when you go for a move to the inside in that corner. Whether you're defending or attacking, there's just a little bump that'll lock you up, which is costing us a bit of time and has ruined some of my races here in the past. Zaf is starting to lose out a bit to DRS on Scorenzi, who is about 9/10 off him now, so we are pushing him. We get a pretty poor turn 1, which means we're going to have to use our ERS to defend from Vilzu behind. Just defending the inside line. And we're going to be settling in now in a train. Comfortably P7, maybe not comfortably, as P8 behind us is very close to us, so is putting me under a bit of pressure as we move on to lap 3. He's 2/10 behind us, again having to somewhat defend the inside. Up ahead, however, Leonardo goes massively off the track. He's going to come on and be side by side with Scorenzi. He goes on the curb, they hit each other. He almost spins into the wall, and they're going to go side by side. He hits Zapapazzo, who's then forced wide. We are being held up here. We've moved to the outside. We use a lot of our ERS because we cannot be staying behind these people. Leonardo's on hotter tyres, but he has just boxed us in. And Vilzu's going to be going for a move. into the quick chicane. Going to go side by side. We're going to back out just to survive. And we lose a position from the Haas going off the track, basically. He just rejoins a bit unsafely. Had contact with an Aston and then the Alpha, and that just holds us up. On to lap 4 now. We're going to have to use our ARS. Sir Alex Anti is going for a move up the inside into turn 3. We are going to try and hang it round, but then decide to back out. Actually, no, we didn't decide to back out. My brake just flickered on, which basically just means even though I didn't press the brake, it applied some brake, which is a big problem with my setup right now, is the fact that I just have a faulty brake. My wheel isn't great, but so we have to pause, stamp on the brake to temporarily fix it. And it's not ideal at all. We are down to P9 now. It's up ahead. Vilzu goes for a massive send, goes over the curb, hits Leonardo off track. They spin onto the track and we pick up damage.
I'm so done, man. I can't be arsed. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. These people are so dumb. I can't do
like
it.
that. My
This
first
is crazy.
4 laps of
This is
PSGL
insane.
have led to damage and some
Idiots,
pretty
man.
horrid racing standards, which forces us into a very early boxing lap 4.
They're so dumb.
You can hear my frustrations in the background as we are now down in P19, already boxing for hards, and coming out of the pits we are around 20 seconds behind the 2 Haas drivers, as Leonardo, who didn't cause the contact but he's the reason we got damage, he ends up not being able to box. He ends up locking up and missing the pit lane, so he is struggling to do the rest of his laps with no front wing, basically. And yeah, we're just basically moving on to lap 9. Nothing really happens, as you can expect with us being at the back of the grid.
Thank you.
There is a safety car,
Maybe not, thank you, but thank you.
it brings us back into the fight because we're so far back now. We needed a safety car. I don't remember who it was that actually spun out. I think it might have been... No, it was Rayner. Rayner spins out, everyone's boxed, and everyone's coming out ahead of us, so we were only going to gain 2 positions if we stayed out on this aging set of tyres. So we are going to be forced into a box. My teammate Crack has boxed, which holds us up a bit, but it's not like we were losing any positions here, as we are so far at the back of the grid. But this gives us a little chance at redemption, because there is rain forecast for the end of this race. So these mediums will hopefully be able to take us to the inters, which we can then finish the race on. As the safety car's ending on the end of lap 11, we have went pretty early. P14 now, Old Wine is the car that we are going to be trying to overtake now. We're just trying to move out the slipstream because we don't want to be getting too close to him going for a move into turn 1, because that loses us so much time. And it isn't a smart place to be going for a move. We are, however, going to be using our ERS and then cancelling it, because there is no point in going for a move here. He is just ahead of us right now. We're going to need to bide our time because we can't be going for any stupid moves, or we'll lose the DRS to the cars ahead, and then that leaves me with no chance at getting into the top 5, basically. We can't do anything if we end up making stupid moves. We can see that Old Wine's actually struggling compared to Crack ahead in the train. He's already fallen about 9/10 behind, so we are going to be using our ERS, dipping a tyre in the grass, but it felt necessary that we get that move done as soon as possible. And we are now up into P13 with our teammate in the other Red Bull up ahead, with 6 seconds of penalties, which isn't ideal for the team, because we are going to be looking to get a decent finish in the Constructors. I did want to team up with Jamie again, like I did with last season, but unfortunately there wasn't another Red Bull seat, and I did tell myself for weeks before this season that I would have chose the Red Bull if necessary. Just because it's a nice car, like it looks nice, but I'm unfortunately at this point not used to the engine sounds and how it all works, and when I'll notice that the car's starting to slip away. So I'm really struggling this race. I feel like I should say that, even though I have got to move anyway. And Aston's making a move on us. We just lift off and let him pass because he is on the soft compound. No point fighting it, he is on the faster tyres. But this race, apart from obviously me picking up the damage, apart from that, I haven't had a good race. I've been off the pace, struggling quite a lot. as Crack is overtaken by the Aston, but then there's a bit of contact here. We are moving to the inside. He moves across, almost swipes us for no apparent reason. There's a bit of contact. We lose the back end, and we're just going to try and hang it around the outside. We go into the grass, and it's just...
What's going on?
It's not good racing, and the fact that he has moved across dangerously to try and take me out just simply because he got pushed off the track by someone else. It's just dirty standards, and the first 14 laps of this season have really made me not want to continue. I'm going to say that now. At this time I was feeling demotivated. I wasn't really wanting to be racing in F1 much more. But there's a safety car, which again saves our race a little bit more, as... who was it? I think it was Kiwi. That was spun out, or that just lost the back end. 5 minutes till the rain, so there's no point in us boxing for any new tyres or for the inters, so we are going to stay out and pick up a position on an Alfa Romeo that was in the box. But as I was saying, these first laps of this season, and followed by just everything that's been happening, I haven't felt motivated to race in this league. But I'm suddenly feeling the motivation again, so that's all I'm going to say. We look to have gone right now. The safety car is looked like we have went, but then suddenly it stops. No one's here. No one's really racing. So we are put side by side with Crack going into turn 1, who's on slower tyres than us. He's on the hards. But we are unable to make a move there as Formula RC gets pushed off the track, and in turn another Haas is blocking us off. The Aston goes off the track. He's looking like he's going to go for a move. Formula RC just goes well deep, hits into Crack, is holding everyone up here, is putting me under pressure from the cars behind. We look to move up the inside, but there's no space there, so we have to back out. And behind us, Oldwine is looking to make a move as Crack and the Aston go side by side. The Aston gets pushed off the track, but we are able to make it past him into P11. We are using all of our ERS right now. Crack is moving all around the track, and we are going to be going for a move into turn whatever this is, but we decide to back it out because he was using ERS. He goes deep, has a bit of snap, and we end up just making it past. We got pretty lucky there with him not spinning into us. And then behind us, someone's going for a massive send, Leonardo. And up ahead, Formula RC shunts Rogerwell off the track, which then puts Rogerwell going slower in front of me, holding me up yet again. He's got like worn tyres. He decides to box. He picks up damage because Formula RC decided to send it.
These guys are savages,
and went so deep. He just pushed them off.
Clueless.
And he ended up picking up damage. And right now, if there's no more safety car, it's looking like the maximum we will be able to get is 8th, because we just lost so much time with getting held up from all the battles. And it has started raining. You can see on the screen that the raindrops are here now. And into Sector 1, there's a safety car. So everyone on the field is going to be boxing to the inters, and it adds no variety to the strategy. So there's no point, there's no chance of me maybe gaining positions by choosing a better strategy. It's just annoying. But there's another safety car onto the inters now. I've done no inters practice for this track whatsoever. So this is going to be a sketchy first lap or two. And it's going to be difficult. We're in P8 right now with the Haas in front of us on 3 seconds of penalties. It's raining pretty heavily. It is probably into conditions right now. And there's another safety car, obviously, so we are going to be going. Right now, we're going to go. It looks like they've went again, but then they just stop. We almost run into the back of people. We move against the inside. They're keeping it really late to start going. And we do go now. We get a slight jump on the Haas, but we have to pull back. And we get a massive rear lock. Just not used to the inters. Haven't had any time to warm up. Losing the rear end into this first and second corner.
Man.
We're already on the back foot, dropping down to P10.
Where's my grip?
As we just don't have the grip to compete right now, or we're just not as practiced as we probably could have been. We are going side by side with the asphalt of the Tauri. Slight contacts made, and we're already losing more and more time to the train ahead. It's just, this race has been horrible so far. The two Hasses are nearly taking each other out up ahead, both with a 3-second and a 6-second penalty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's just the two Hasses in front of me, and right now it's not good. They're fighting again. Rain is so much more heavy. On lap 22, two Hasses going side by side. Formula RC just runs Leonardo off the track. We look to make a move, but we have to back out because I don't trust that he would be able to leave us the space. Side by side with the Alfa.
The Haas guys are clueless. Again. I can't do this, man.
And my head is gone at this point. The most points, if I'm to finish the race, the most points I'll be able to get is 10th, maybe 11th, 12th. And at that point, there's no points. Because my head is gone.
So
there's
I can't race with these people.
If we just finish the race within 3 seconds and 6 seconds of the two Haas, then we might be able to pick up some decent points for what this race has been. On to lap 22 now. Rain heavier than ever. Still into conditions. Prime Vilzu is going to be going for a move into turn 1 in the inters. Goes into the side of Leonardo. They spin each other out and there's contact. And yet again, we have lost our front wing. And at this point, the race is gone. There's no point in racing anymore in this race.
I actually can't.
We pick up damage. Because
Vilzu everyone all race.
Because Vilzu's just sent it in an
and they
awful
just
place.
rejoin the track and then kill everyone else.
And you're hearing my rants right now. I'm ranting at the Haas drivers, man. Even though it is not their fault. And then we just go and retire in the pit lane. It's not the Haas fault that my race was awful. I've seen the light, and it was actually the AlphaTauri. These are the results after round 1. Obviously, not a good race at all. We start off the season with a DNF and being on the back foot in the pace. Joe Royal ends up winning with McQueen in P2 and Scorenzi in P3. I think if everything went right, we could have got P5 or 6. But obviously, I didn't practice enough. And we're going to be moving on to next week in Belgium. So if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.